Hey folks, it's Annette here from Dinners in Canada. I wanted to share with you a lunch that I made while I was on vacation. I had some leftovers to use up, and normally I would make, a soup or some kind of fried rice, which is really common for leftovers. But this is something just a little bit different, and I thought I would share it with you guys, just in case you wanted to try it. So you can see here, I'm just getting some rice noodles, and I just pour some boiling water over those. You don't actually need to cook them. You can just soak them in boiling water, and eventually they will soften up. So I'm starting off with my rice noodles, and then we'll be moving on to my curry sauce, because this is going to be a curried noodle, which is quite similar to a Singapore noodle. So I had 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 2 tablespoons of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of white pepper. I have 1 tablespoon of garlic chili, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of soy, 1 teaspoon of bullion, 1 teaspoon of rice vinegar, and 1 teaspoon of sugar, and then I added in some hot water just to mix it up. I will put all these ingredients in the description below, but there are many different variations of a Singapore noodle, so you can go look up online and see which one you might like. So after I add the water, I just stir it around, and then I'll be making some toppings. Now you don't have to make toppings, but I just like to make it a little bit more interesting. So I decided to go with some scrambled eggs and some shrimp. So I just used 2 eggs, and I just fried them up in some ghee. Now I will have to apologize for my terrible filming and my terrible plating up. I really just filmed this very quickly because I was going to hit the road because I was on vacation. And just make sure when you're putting your eggs in your bowl, you throw it everywhere, because cleaning up is a lot of fun. Anyway, I got some shrimp out of the freezer, and I defrosted those, and I grilled those up too. And next up, I'll be grilling some ground pork. This is what I actually had to use up in the fridge, like I said. This is a really good alternative when you're trying to use up leftovers, and you can make this completely vegetarian, but I had an entire pound of ground pork, and I only leave ground pork in the fridge for a day or 2. I don't refreeze it, as it's not safe. So I had to use it up, so there's a lot of ground pork in this one. If you did want to make this and was going to use a more reasonable amount of ground pork, then you'd probably go to about 200 to 300 grams. That's all you would need. You could also use beef. I probably wouldn't recommend lamb. I don't think it would suit lamb. I do think pork is best for this, but you could either try chicken or turkey. There we go. I have an entire pound of pork that I'm frying up, and I just throw in a couple of tablespoons of soy sauce for some extra seasoning. And so next up, I'll be throwing in my vegetables. Again, I just used what I had in the fridge. I had some bell peppers left. Those were the small bell peppers. I think these were oyster mushrooms, I believe. And some fresh red chili pepper. You don't have to put chili pepper in, but I like things spicy. Some sliced up ginger. I would definitely recommend some of that. And I had just some julienne carrots and some spring onions. I did leave or reserve a few spring onions just to top it at the end. So I gave this a little bit of a stir, and then added in about half of my curry sauce. I did end up using all the curry sauce, so at this point you could just throw all of it in. But I wasn't sure what it was going to taste like, so I just used half. I then added a little bit of water and let this simmer for about 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes is up, I go and I put in my rice noodles. I don't recall how many noodles I used. It was probably half a packet. I'm not sure, but you should be able to eyeball it if you want to try this. And again, make sure you throw stuff everywhere so that you've got, you know, little bits and pieces you can pick up and snack on while you're going. And I threw in the rest of my curry sauce. So you just give this a stir, let those noodles heat through. Yep, had to make sure I get every little bit of that sauce out of the bowl. It was really good. Now again, make sure you splash everything everywhere. Cleaning is fun. So then I just went ahead and plated up. Oh wait, had to do a little bit of a taste test. Then I went ahead and plated up and then put my toppings of egg and shrimp on. So I will again have to apologize for this terrible filming and terrible plating up, but I think this is a really good alternative if you're trying to use up leftovers and you're sick of, you know, fried rice or turning things into a soup, and you like to play around with different foods from around the world. This is my rendition of a Singapore noodle, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.